is one of the great thinkers of our time. He's as close to a kindred spirit as one comes in terms of understanding what is happening to our civilization. I read to you The Cruel Progressive Creed, Undoing Civilization. Sound familiar? What I'm about to read to you are things that I have been saying for years, and especially in the last year and a half. However, it is always good to hear it from another. It's human nature. It's like kids. Parents know that kids will be more affected by another than from them, than they are of them. It just... there are times actually where parents have said to me, could you speak to my son or my daughter? If you say it, it'll have more of an effect. Not because you're Dennis Prager, but because you're an outsider. But anyway, this is true here. He's both not me and terrific. Debt is suffocating us. Our currency is on its way to being Lebanonized. Lebanonized, yes. Most major American cities are broke, dirty, unsafe, and run by either corrupt incumbents, neo-Marxists, or both. Tell me what is not true about that sentence. Most major American cities are broke, dirty, unsafe, and run by either corrupt incumbents or neo-Marxists or both. How did that happen? How does that happen? How do they get reelected? They get reelected because they promise a lot of people goodies and because they demonize Republicans. And it works. The law is optional and applied asymmetrically on the basis of race and ideology. The law is optional. Is that a great line? You read this piece? He composes pieces like this almost daily. The past is found guilty by the laws of the present. He really writes well. That's another fantastic line. The past is found guilty by the laws of the present. Wow. When could that not happen? When would that not be possible? That means nobody before us was decent, if that's what we do. The past is found guilty by the laws of the present. One of the insights I give in my Bible commentary, the Rational Bible, and I ask you for your sake, for my sake, and for the country's sake, to pre-order Deuteronomy, the third of my 5 volumes, of the first 5 volumes of the Bible. It is coming out in September. You can pre-order it at Amazon. I make the point in Genesis when it says that God saved Noah, described Noah's decency as he was a righteous man in his generations. Why did it just say he was a righteous man? Because you judge people in their generation. Otherwise, it's over. Nobody before us was good, and we will never be decent compared to those in the future. The past is found guilty by the laws of the present, and so it is being undone. The military budget is on a trajectory to be the smallest in terms of GDP allotment since World War II. Did you know that? Yeah. Why would we do that if we could pay off pension plans to teachers' unions? That's where we should be spending our money, not in defending the country and liberty on earth. As I have said often, if they really gave out the Nobel Peace Prize to those who deserve it, the American military would get it every year. Its careerist officers, for their own short-term interests, are now demonizing and will soon be driving away the very demographic that has suffered percentage-wise the greatest casualties in recent wars and was once unquestionably the foundation of the military. I assume he's talking about white males. What was his name? Malley?
Milley.
Sorry?
Milley.
Milley? M-I-L-L-E-Y? Head of the Joint Chiefs? Wow. He wants the military, members of the military, to study white rage.
To understand broader on whatever the theory is. But I do think it's important, actually, for those of us in uniform to be open-minded and be widely read. And the United States Military Academy is a university. And it is important that we train and we understand. And I want to understand white rage.
Okay.
And I'm white.
All right,
and I want to
leave it at that. This is the head of the Joint Chiefs. Okay. Next. By the way, that point, every one of these sentences is a bombshell. Demonizing and alienating the very demographic that has suffered percentage-wise the greatest casualties and was once unquestionably the foundation of the military. Next, there is no U.S. border. It is an abstract construct that millions will illegally cross in the next few years, ostensibly because they will become future soldiers in the progressive wars for America to come. That's right. Yeah, that's right. You do. You illegally, well, it's fair. How do you illegally cross an abstract construct? Yeah. The idea of merit that built America is a dirty word, replaced by medieval tribalism of hiring and promotion by superficial appearance. In just 5 months, Joe Biden created a desert and called it progress. That's just the beginning. Okay. Yeah, there you go. He identifies as white. He should really be more woke than that. Perhaps nearly 2 million illegal aliens will cross the border over the calendar year. Most would never have attempted to do that last summer. Why? Because after January 2021, they believed the border was open. Now meeting a border security guard ensures no detention, much less deportation. That line, in just 5 months, Joe Biden created a desert and called it progress. Wow. Who worries much about the ensuing collateral damage, squalid conditions, talking about the massive influx of people into this country illegally? Squalid conditions in border halfway stations, cartel predation on the vulnerable, the overtaxing of social welfare services at the expense of American poor. That's correct. Who do you think gets hurt when you have even poorer people flock in the millions? The American poor. Greater rates of crime and gang violence, the diminution in entry-level wages, and less integration and assimilation of newcomers who come en masse. That's why President Trump was elected, because of these truths. 1-8-Prager-776. I'm Dennis Prager.